Hello viewers, welcome to Corporani real-time card trackings app demo. Inside you need to see this here. Today we need to create here the Node.js servers inside the local machines. First of all, we need to need this here the express generators. Need to first of all we need to find out here. Need to write here the commands Node.js express generators and to go here the express.js express application generators and to install this here the npm commands. Now need to copy and open this here the your terminals and to paste this here. First of all, so need to make sure here the installs here the Node.js, otherwise not work this command. Now like this you need to write down and to create things here the now need to run it the sudo command. Paste this here. Now need to enter here the password and now give this here the permission issue. Need to fix this here and to install this package are the done here. Now I have already selected here the project created directory. Now here selected, so now need to create here the express projects. Need to check this here the syntax. I have already need to explain in the some previous video, previous playlist inside the details, but now need to write down here the express. Give this here the view name, this view equal to need to set here the EGS, and we need to give this here the name as a project name real time card tracking. Like this need to creating here the project names and to creating these folders. Now need to open this here the node.js inside the showing here this folders, and now need to see this here this directory now opens inside the vxcoder here open, and to drag this directory and to open this project. Like this need to configurations are the needs this here, and we need to open this here the directory structures and to see this here the app.js. First of all, need to need this here the some configurations are the needs for the socket IO. Need to install here the socket IO libs. First of all, need to write down here npm install and save. We need to give this here the name as a socket IO socket.io package. We need to install here. Now installing this here the socket IO package inside this demo. Here making here the issue the permissions need to use this here the sudo command. Copy and to paste this here. Now this is the socket IO package are the added done. Now also need to another package we need this here the UUID package install here. Then after another's we need this here the movement dot time zones package. We need this here like this installings here gets here, and also need to check here the course project course core need to imports here course here installings core package. Like this package are the needs and to requires for the node.js real times. Here not use here the database connection, that's why not install this here the mysql plugins. Now need to app.js inside the write down here the some codes related to right here. First of all, no needs here the routes index. Need to clean this here not matters because no needs, that's why to clean this here this routes no needs. Need to delete here these folders and also need to remove here these routes and also here like this sets here. And now need to write down here one by one the codings. First of all, need to import this here the const dot course is equal to required, and to pass this here the core package course, and also on the others const fs for the files required, and to give this here the fs package like this we need to set here. We need to write down here the semicolons. It's both package. Now we need to write down here the create here the servers. We need to write down here the where server is equal to require. We need to set this here the http package, and to create here the server, create servers, and to give this here the apps like this creating here the servers. Now need to connect with the here the socket IO. Need to write down here the IO is equal to require, and now need to pass this here the socket dot IO, and now need to create here the server, set here the server variables, and after need to pass this here the brackets, set here the course, need to set here the origin is equal to write down here the double quote inside http slash dot localhost. If you use here the live servers inside the uploading this source code, then to give this here the live server the base URLs need to pass here if you access. If not need access, then do not pass here. For specific these routes to access this here which origins, and also need to add down here the methods bracket inside. Need to create here the gets and post method. Two methods are the needs, and to pass this here now need to declare here the server port. Need to set here the 301 like this configures. Also need to save this here the all user connected socket in one array, and to give this here the user socket connect list like this. Need to creatings and managings for this years. Then after now need to scroll downs, and need here the some configurations for the JSONs. Now need to set here the limit, need to set here the so MB 100 MB like this configures, and for extended URLs need to set this here the true. Also need to write down here the limit. Again need to copy and to paste this here this limit. Cookie parsers, statics, and publics need to set this here. Now need to set here the core options. Const course options need to write down here two brackets, and to set here the origin, and need to image. Now need to copy and paste like here like this sets, and to set here the app dot use, and to set here the course, and set here the core options initialize like this core options, and to add down here the semicolons. And now need to times here the creating here the controllers. Need to first of all need to create here the new folders, and to give this here the name as a controllers like this sets, and inside we need to create here the two files for the login controller .js and another files socket controller .js. Like this, need to get here the controllers and to configure these here. Now, first of all, need to write down here the needs here some scrolls and to read this here the files for the controllers and to put here. Need to core option after, so need to set here this place. If you put before, then not work. If you always put here the write down here the 404 errors before, need to write down this text, otherwise not working. fs dot, we need to read this here the synchronized files, and we need to find out here the slash dot controllers, and need to get one by one files dot for each, and need to get here the file, create like this here the brackets, and need to check here if file dots, need to write down here the sub str -3 equal double quotes dot js, then to put this here the value, as need to set here the route is equal to required set here dot dot slash controllers, need to copy here and to paste this here is good, otherwise typo. That's one to set here the file here, get this here the files, and need to set here the route dot controller, and to pass this here the variable as a app io. Also need to pass this here the user sockets list, need to passing here. Then after these configurations are the needs for the years, and two configurations are the turns. Now need to write down here the server listen ports, need to set here listen server ports, and need to write down here the console dot logs, and to show here the message server started, and to show this here the port server port, like this, showing this here the which port inside the running these servers. Like this configurations for the app. Now need to configure this here the login controllers. First of all need to create, then after need to socket controllers need to create here. First of all need this here the helper class, we need to copy and paste, need to create here the new folders, and to give this here the titles as a helpers, like this adds here the titles folders. And now need to how to use this here the for any, and to get any helper class, because this is commonly writes. Now need to find out any Node.js app, here's online glossary shop, and inside we need to find out this here the helper folders, and get this here the helper files. Now we need to copy this row, and we need to paste this here. First of all, unused codes need to remove here, not in use here, need to clean here. No needs here the image path, need to clean. These validations are the needs, request no needs, delogs needs, to clean here. Server date times need to stay here, and generate this here no needs. Like this need to cleaning here, unused variables and unused methods need to clear here. Now we need to wrong place set here, not login controllers. Now need to write down here new files. Set here the helper .js. Paste here. Now need to save and like this sets. Now write down here the where helper is equal to required and need to set here slash dot slash need to set here the helpers and slash here the helpers and import this here. So now need to write down here the module dot expose and to use this here the controllers keywords. So need to given this here this key you need to find out here this and equal to need to initialize here app io and socket list like sets here. Write down here the function operators and to setting here. Now need to declare here the some common variables const.msc.success is equal to write down here the success and also need to write down here the msc.l like this write down here and one more variables declares here the false app inside the joining here the cars need this here the one variable inside source stores because we need to not use here the any database then to directly save inside the one variables. If you join here the new cars automatically give this here the entry inside car need to give this here the car locations object and to object variables need to create. Now use this here the app dot post methods need to create for the joining here the cars need to write down here the API slash need to give this here the car dot join and we need to write down here the request and response variables and function operators. Now first of all we need to print this here the helper dot dlogs request body we need to print here like here need to print. Then after where set here the request object is equal to need to request dot body need to call here semicolons and some this here and to call this here first of all need to check this here the parameters are valid for the service calls need to response object then after the request object and we need this here the checking user UDID UUID need to needs here universal unique identifications like this full form and now need to driver's current plate logs driver long and car direction degree need to needs also because need to move here the which flow directions inside the go these cars that's one into degree parameters into needs and also another variables for the socket id for the connectings if you disconnect and to new id generated then to getting here the socket id like then after you need to call this here the socket list and you need to save this here the users us dot this is the common form underscores and to find out here the request dot uuid like this is equal to need to set here slash socket id underscore id and need to request dot object and to pass this here the socket id like these configurations are the needs here. First of all so need to this array inside you need to this joining cars array you need to registers in this variables inside you need to save. First of all need to write down here this object need to type over here fix and we need to give this here the key names. Need to request dot uid for specific this id, and we need to save this here the value. First of all, need to save this here the latitude, longitude, degree. Need to save. Yes, now request dot uid. Then after need to write down here the parse plot, and need to pass this here the request object dot ud to call here the let. Otherwise, we need to pass this here the same value as a string. We need to returns here, not difference any. App side need to change here, not change here. Need to always just set here the string. Request object dot long we need to set here, and also need to request dot degree, because need this here the other user to passing, that's why need to one variable inside the saving those all joining cars dot degree rotation degree. Degree means rotation degree, which angles are the moving, that's why need to show here the degree, and like this configures in this array. Then after we need to creating here the one broadcast, as well as we need to request.json. First of all, need to return this here the current API calls. User this here the returns success response server returns here status. Set here the one, and then after need to pass here the payload. We need to set here the car object, and also need to pass here the message as a success msg.success, like this. We need to calling. Now we need to how to broadcast all socket IO inside the all connector clients. Need to broadcasting, need to use this here the IO variables, call here the emit methods, emit, and give this here the socket name, which events inside past. Need to use this here the car joins, and to car join inside to passing here, and we need to set this like brackets, and to returning this here the variables. Set here the status is equal to 1, and we need to set here the payload like this. Emitting here. This is the car joinings. Post methods are the creatings with the broadcast. In other connectors, all users need to return this here the response. This new user are the connects, like this response need to on events. Car joins inside the listening here, and to reflect with the map. Now another's we need to API, we need to call same API, but response inside not setting here the sending here the whole cast list. Now need to copy again, and to paste this here, and to change this here the name. Update location, update location, and also need to change this here the emit name here, like this sets. Use this here the this value, and remove here the payloads. Only this one difference for this API for the updatings. Now we need to configure this here the socket controllers. We need to configure first of all. Now need to use this here the code, and we need to paste this here, and to clear this here no needs. Also remove here, like this declarings for the sockets. Now need to write down here the IO dot we need to on methods, and to listening this here the connection event connection, and need to get here the client, like calling here function operators. Check here the client dot on events, and we need to check this here the update socket, like this events need to getting here, then after need to set here the data with the response need to, if you calling here, now need to print this here the helper dot dlogs, and need to call this here the API name that socket data, and need to show this here the data like here's now where gets here the string object, and to convert first of all the JSON string JSON object JSON dot parse, and to pass this here the data like here. Now need to check here the helpers dot check, and socket validations need to check client pass this years, then after need to update sockets events name need to keep else, and to response send set here the JSONs, and to check this here the event inside UUID user universal ID for the conjoined users like this function operators. Now we need to save this here the socket list inside disconnected users us underscore call this here the JSON object dot UUID equal to need to write down here to copy against here this value, and need to paste this here. Now need to print here the helper dot dlogs need to list of the connected socket list here update or not. We need to check this here response need to write down here client dot emit methods need to fire here, and return this here the socket acknowledge update socket, and need to return here the response success status is equal to set here the 1, and set here the send here the message msg success like this. Setting here also need to make sure here API calls status, and also here status like this. We need to write down here the socket update events need to write down here, and here too API need to making today car joins and car update locations. If car update locations only send here the emit methods for the these car locations are the updates, these latitudes, these longitudes, and this degree are the rotatings for these cars. This API too need to manage here the all things. If you like this video, please give the thumbs up. If you're new user, so please subscribe my channels and press the notification bell icon. You can get every new video notifications and awesome content. If you have any questions, so please write down in the comment section. I will help you and sort out your issue. Everyone have a nice day. Goodbye and take care.